Mark, appreciate you being here today, my friend. This is Burn the Ship podcast. This is where we talk about who you are, what you do, how you do it, but most importantly, why you do it. And that journey through entrepreneurship, what entrepreneurship means to you. So it's exciting for us. I appreciate you being here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
My name is Mark DiPlicido with Magnify Film Media, and our goal is to help businesses grow by drawing emotion from their potential audience, and sometimes just helping people or organizations tell their stories and get their word out there. We do corporate commercials, documentaries, biographies, short film, content management.
Right. So tell me, how did you get into, like, what was your introduction into the film and content world?
Film and content world. Well, see, I since I was a kid, I was always playing around with cameras. I was the kid that was always making skits, always making little movies, always doing claymation and stuff like that. I'd have to say my start was back then when I was a child, always trying to do something creative. And as a teenager, I started. I got an internship at a videography studio called Stepstone Productions in St. Louis, Missouri. That's where I'm originally from. And I was mentored there by a man named Chuck Neff and a local DJ named DJ Sir Thurl. His name's actually Devon Townsend. And so so there I learned a lot. I learned how to edit. I learned how to I did a lot of transcribing, went on a few shoots, and graduated from there, and worked out in the field for a little while. Landed a job with a videography company that traveled around doing different competitions at colleges, and went out on my own. I started doing a couple weddings here and there. I started doing some shows, like started doing some hip hop shows, started doing some concerts, stuff like that. Just a few here and there. It wasn't anything stable until a few years ago, actually. I started doing videography for my church and for a rehabilitation center called Lifeline Connect. Did a couple documentaries for them that has to do with addiction. And about a year ago, I branched out on my own and started Magnify Film and Media during the pandemic, during the first initial wave of the shutdown. A lot of people were freaking out about, what are we going to do? How are we going to work? And I said, forget this. I'm starting a company. I
Sure.
couldn't go into my 9 to 5 job at a hardware store. And I was just like, I'm doing my own thing. I refuse to lay down. I'm going to keep going forward. And everybody needs a video. I have this skill. So this is what I'm going to offer now.
Sure. Sure. So what was your initial offerings? You're heading into COVID. Business is in a weird place for everyone. Everybody's kind of understanding now more of what it is, the landscape that we kind of have to navigate. But what was that initial catalyst for starting your own business? Like what was that initial vehicle that you guys were using? What was kind of your initial plan of attack?
The initial plan of attack is corporate commercials, is getting the word out there for your company through social media, through whatever outlet that they are a part of.
Did you have a large network?
No, definitely not. No, I started with just doing I did one free video for my friend who owns a auto body shop. His name is Chad Hinton with On the Go Auto Body. And after that, word spread, and I started getting clients little by little, and then just recently it completely blew up, and now I'm
Sure.
working all the time.
So most of the business that you're doing is like the type of businesses that are hanging their sponsorship sign on your little league field fence, not your corporate, that's not your ideal client, right?
Right now, it's pretty much what you're saying. Like these smaller businesses, which I love helping and love helping them grow and watching them grow. But yeah, I wouldn't say that I would like to keep that as my ideal client. I'm looking to
Sure.
grow into a more corporate area, and I have done more corporate commercials as of recently um, for some bigger names.
Sure. Cool.
So I'm starting to go into that.
Well, that's exciting. And
Yeah,
and now, because you're
definitely.
kind of at the point of making it still your business, you're still figuring out the whole revenue income aspect of it all, and figuring out what that is, and what's replicable. Do you still spend some time doing the short stories, the side projects that you're excited about? So is that still kind of a significant portion of your time, or no?
Not right now. But I am looking for that perfect person out there that wants to tell a story and that wants me to help them do that with the skills that I have, the
Sure.
editing, the writing, I love writing, I love storyboarding, and that's all stuff that we offer. I really don't just want to be a company that does commercials. I would like to. Um, I have done documentaries for um, people in addiction and also for um, different areas like that. And I would like to, tell some people's stories, help them
Sure.
tell it,
So how's this first
empower
year?
them.
How has this first year of entrepreneurship been?
It's been great. I've seen a lot of people. Well, I've researched a lot of videographers that are pros, and a lot of them say the same thing. They say that, hey, your first year, you're not really going to make much money. You're going to have to pretty much do most of your stuff for free in the first year. And I just refused to receive that. And I did one thing for free. Starting off, like I said, I did a couple things for charity after I've been paid several times, and I just did not find that true. I mean, and I want to tell people out there that you can make a lot of money on your first year, depending on networking and marketing yourself, and you guys know the rest.
Sure. How have you tackled that aspect of networking and everything like that? What did you do kind of in your area? Are you working nationally to kind of build that network of business owners so that you have that continued pipeline of people looking to add to their video game?
I personally, the advice I want to give is, if you're into this kind of thing, you find a good church, find a large network of people, and in a church, everybody takes care of each other. They want to use you because you're part of their fellowship. And that's what I did, and it has been working great. And Master Networks, somebody in my church referred me to Master Networks and brought me in there too, and it's been going great. So definitely networking, in a group of people that take care of each other is the
Sure.
best thing to do. Word of mouth,
Sure.
definitely.
Tell me, does your area of Illinois, do you guys have a large networking scene? What's the network like there? I'm sure you have some Chamber of Commerce, as you alluded to, Master Networks. What is the networking scene, the business scene like out there?
Yeah, it's really good. We take care of each other. Yeah, there's Chamber of Commerce, of course, Master Networks. There's just different entrepreneurs that take care of each other, and a lot of people around here that want to see you succeed. Um, I like promoting small businesses, like I said, and just watching them grow and helping people out.
Mm-hmm.
And other people around here like to do the same. I think that I've been shown a lot of kindness by strangers and just people that I've came to find out that telling your story and just telling just sharing personal things about yourself will make other entrepreneurs or other business people just want to promote you and want to hire you, even if you're just starting out, even if the next guy that is more corporate could maybe do a little better job. But I think that relationships is key around here, and a lot of people use that.
Sure. Do you see yourself being someone that facilitates some sort of more formalized networking there? Do you see yourself kind of taking on one of those leadership roles in one of those networking organizations and continuing to kind of leverage that to your advantage as well?
I do. I would love to, and I would love to branch out in that aspect and be mentored in that area. I'm kind of testing the waters right now, but yes, definitely.
Sure, sure. We should start a podcast. You know, I'm
Yeah, I've
just kidding.
actually, man, you have inspired me. I've definitely been thinking about that.
Well, we'll
Before I
definitely
even
help you.
talked to you, I was out today. I was praying before we did this podcast, and I'm just like, man, it's something that I should do.
Yeah.
So
Well, we can definitely help you. I mean, this one, there was a lot of stuff that we figured out. Took us a while, but we're getting a lot better at it now. I think you'll like what the finished product and everything looks like. But that the reason that I bring that up is just because, at the beginning of COVID, you really only have that COVID experience. You don't really have the A/B test that we have because we were network and shake your hand face to face, come meet you belly to belly in a room, have a drink, see if we can do business together. That's how we built the relationship for
right.
the first 2 years and some change that I was here. And then COVID hit and that was gone immediately. So we had to up our ability for people to see us on the internet and recognize us. Like we had to up our ability to people to look at us on the internet and be like, oh, these are real people. That isn't a robot. You know what I mean? It's because we had none of that. The online game, the social media game, the email game, all of that wasn't very important to us because people don't historically respond to that very well in the merchant services space. Like, hey, Mark, can you and I discuss your merchant services? The answer is probably going to be no. You don't know me like that. You don't want to discuss your credit card processing and how much you're paying and whether I can help or not if you don't know me, if we don't have a relationship like that. So it's a futile effort in a lot of cases to approach any relationship in that fashion. So what the podcast does for us, what our networking group does, we host a networking group every couple of weeks. It's virtual. It's pretty cool. But what that gives us the ability to do is approach this conversation with some sort of value. Do you want to come do a podcast? We can create some marketing material, give you some snippets. You can send it out later. Do you want to come network with our network and meet the people that send us business? Probably be good for you. That type of stuff. Very powerful introductions. What type of value do you see yourself, you and your company kind of lining yourself with in the future? Is it a podcast? Is it something else kind of along those space? What is something else that you like to do in that business world that you could see as creating value for other business owners?
I've really been just debating on. I want to do I want to start a YouTube channel, and I'm definitely interested in doing something like that or a podcast, and just bringing tips and business advice to people, and even gear reviews, stuff like that, and just my experiences as a businessman, and just someone that has lived life, and has overcame some major struggles, and bringing that type of value, relational value, just anything that I can bring to the table.
Sure. And what else besides your kind of experiences in your faith? Have you dabbled with video in other areas? Have you done any sports stuff? I know you mentioned the music and stuff with the entertainment. Have you thought about revitalizing that and making that a part of your brand as well?
Oh, definitely. I would like to. I just have those doors just have not opened yet, but I think it's time for me to, open those doors myself and walk in.
Sure.
Definitely.
Well, how would you do that? Is there an entertainment scene near you?
As far as sports,
Or either, I mean, just sports, entertainment, music, whatever it is. Yeah, I guess anyone's peculiar talent.
yeah, and I have, I would like to do. I'm really interested in doing music videos for people. My company is a family oriented company, so I really like to keep it clean.
Sure.
I like to keep it positive. Doesn't necessarily have to be faith based, just definitely has to be a positive message, or a message of like overcoming struggle, and that could limit me in in doing music and stuff like that, but it definitely will elevate my my company, and also promote my core values.
Mm-hmm. Well, specificity is good too. Narrowing it down is good as well. Like if it's a different skill set to do a rap video with guns and smoke and drugs and cars than it is to do, something faith-based. What that end product and the going about that thing is completely different. So I don't think I don't think that's going to be a huge hindrance to you. If it is, that would be strange to me. Actually, I'd go too far as say that, but I think it'd be good. We're kind of branching into that as well, and we kind of took a similar road. It's like we were all into the business stuff, come to a podcast, and then we started meeting entertainers, athletes, comedians, all of these things, and we had to create basically an entire new skill set revolving around my editor producer here to fill some of the content needs that we had in those spaces. So like I said, dumbing it down, getting those skill sets very, very specific is never a bad thing. I commend you for it. I think a lot of people make that mistake early is hey, I can do, sorry, phone's ringing. I can do a video for you, a music video, a sports video, a faith-based video. I can do all these 100,000 different things. I think that makes it makes it difficult for people to really know what you do when you do that. And so
Definitely.
So at least when you have your core and you're like, hey, I know you do this, but can you do this? And you're like, I can probably make it work. And deep down, that you can just kill it. You have the skills necessary for that. So I think, at least owning one of those areas is not a bad thing anyway. I just wonder what your ideas are for continuing to diversify. That is the only reason that I asked. But that's cool, man. That's cool. I'm excited for you to see kind of where that goes, especially with some of the businesses. Now, do you have to... like you capture the footage as well? You're doing the capturing for the...
Yeah.
Okay. So you're probably only local for most of the stuff now, or do you travel?
I travel. I have clients in St. Louis. I have clients in Indiana as well, and I'm willing to travel.
Cool.
I'm looking to branch out to Chicago, really just in the surrounding towns, states for now. But I mean, just whatever the future holds, whatever God has for me, I'm willing to go.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting if we can provide some value in that as well as, like, say you're pitching somebody on, hey, do you want a business commercial? We're going to put it out this. Obviously, this can be a resource to you as well. I mean, we're connected through Master Networks and obviously through this experience as well. If you say, hey, do you want to do a business podcast where these people are going to talk about, what you do in your business and how you're doing it? Would that be cool for you? It comes with this package of whatever we're doing. If we can help you close that deal, we would do that. Those people are awesome people for us to talk to anyway. So we may be able to help you that as well. I wanted to ask, kind of redirecting the conversation a little bit, what do you expect as far as like community impact goes? Because I don't think anyone takes that deep dive into business and says, I'm doing this only so I can make money or so I don't have to work for anybody else. What do you see, say that, the next however many months goes exactly how you plan, super successful, we're making a ton of money. How do you give back? How do you connect with that community? Because it seems to be something that is important to you.
How do I connect? Literally, I am a part of an organization called Lifeline Connect. I'm actually a counselor at this. It's a rehabilitation center for drugs and alcohol, like I said before. And a long time ago, I actually went through the program myself. I'm actually a graduate of the program. I was addicted to drugs and alcohol from 17 years old to 30 years old. Only by the grace of God do I have 7 years clean now. And so, I have a chance to give back and use my videography to donate to an auction package through Lifeline Connect every year, and actually sometimes twice a year. And people that come to this auction event, they know that it's going to a great cause and it's changing people's lives. And I love to offer my services through that, and any other opportunity that I can find that is along those lines. Auctions is where it's at with giving back, and plus networking and getting your name out there, and just meeting people and just the relationships that I form with people. I'm really starting to form a passion for interviews, just like between me and you, or somebody out there that, I'm doing a commercial for. Like, I go in there expecting to do this commercial and just come out, with like a friend, or with somebody that, has shared some personal stuff with me, and I share, I meet them at their commitment level. I'm like, wow, that turned into way more than an interview, and that opens even more doors in the future.
Sure.
So
Well, that's exciting. I commend you, sir. Congratulations.
thank
That's
you.
incredible. I know how difficult that is. So I appreciate your time. Appreciate you telling us that. It really is. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that's
Thank you.
a different thing to talk about, especially within a business setting, and anything that we can do for you on that front as well is very interesting to me. I'd love to see how we can tie into something different and give our our views, our aspect on that, and be of service as you guys as well. I think anything coming from an air of service. That's why I asked that question. Is when you have any of those efforts are coming from a service-based mindset, is where can I bring value to this community of people that I relate with? That's the type of stuff that we want to be involved with, even if it's not directly relating to the bottom line of our business. All of it's time well spent. For your business, for our business, for a startup business, for a corporate business with 500 employees, it's all time well spent. It teaches you and reinforces in you ideals that you can't synthesize. You know what I mean? It has to come
Right.
organically. So those experiences are powerful. They're going to be a big reason why you're going to be so successful moving forward with your business. I truly believe that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And like I said, appreciate you telling us that. So tell me, you've made some videos kind of in that space. You've went through that space. You're still kind of giving your consultation, everything within that space. What does that look like? Do you take that, tying into the rehabilitation from drugs and alcohol aspect? Do you take that nationally? Do you look to connect with more organizations like that and put out some material for those people? I think maybe, especially with creating the content from such an organic place, that'd probably be incredible stuff.
I do. Yeah. Yeah. I have done work for different organizations like that. Um, um, through someone that is already their client actually, so it kind of a third party type thing. But yeah, and the reason why I was so on board, I mean, this one of my clients in St. Louis, who is Jackson Pianos, does work with a place called Places for People down there, which is a mental health and addiction resource place. And the owner of that company is pretty interesting. He had his car was broken into down in St. Louis, and instead of freaking out and trying to hunt the dude down or call the police, he's like, how can I help the community? How can I make a difference? So him and his company, Jackson Pianos, reached out to Places for People, and I just so happened to be, doing a bundle of videos for Jackson Pianos, and so we connected and did some really good things, for the community.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what, I want you to do a couple of things. Send us over some of that stuff you want us to link to and put kind of in the description of the video, because we obviously want to highlight your talents and your mission behind what, the intentionality of what you have going on with that content. The other thing that I want you to do is, as we kind of wrap things up here, tell people, in case they're interested in talking to you more about your services and about your story, where they can find you.
Okay. You can find me at magnifyfilms.org. It's my website. Or you can find my you can email me at mark@magnifyfilms.org. And you can also go to lifelineconnect.org and look at the program that I help run, that I'm the assistant director of, and you can see a lot of media. You can see a lot of what I do for the community.
Sure.
In that aspect.
Cool. Well, we'll check it out. We'll link to it as much as we can and get you kind of ingrained with our network. But I'm excited. I appreciate you coming on the podcast and talking to us, man. It's been a good opportunity to learn some more about your skills and your mission. And it's given me some opportunity to reflect on, what our mission as well. I think that is a space that we can probably play, do some good in as well. So I'm interested in see kind of how we can stay connected in the future through master networks and through everything else. So I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Appreciate you too.
Yeah, if you got anything else you want to give us a closing statement, go ahead. But I think that's all the questions I have, man. You've made it very, very clear, and I'm very excited to see where your passion takes you moving forward with your business.
Yeah, sure. I really don't have much else to say except, just, any, through this pandemic, you can still be successful, and I'm living proof of that. You're living proof of that. And, don't be held back by fear, because we're facing death right now. And, we need to walk past that and see our success.
Sure. Every day. Have to
Amen.
do it every day. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.